welcome to the Austrian Grand Prix, the lovely Red Bull Ring in Spielberg, Austria, for the Austrian Grand Prix. We're here for qualifying 18 minutes for 20 drivers to set the 20 fastest laps that they can. So on out laps now, Kevin Magnussen, Alexander Albon, Tyler Markle, George Russell. George Russell leads the charge now as he heads into Sector 2. This track is one of the shortest tracks on the F1 circuit.
Did AI just actually pass me?
And it has one of the least amount of turns. This circuit has the least amount of turns on the circuit. 9 corners.
Has the least amount of turns on the circuit? Yes.
On the F1 circuit.
No, you said on the circuit, not on the F1 circuit.
But but the circuit means the F1 schedule.
Well, there could be less turns out the circuit. They have some small ass looking layouts for this track.
That too. But also when you generally talk about the F1 schedule, they don't say F1 schedule, they talk about circuit.
I know.
Don't Emerson me. Also on outlaps, Lando Norris, Sebastian Vettel, Malenko, Romain Grosjean, Charles Leclerc. On time laps, Magnussen, Albon, Russell, Markle. Kubica's on an outlap. George Russell heads the charge. Albon on his tail.
Wait, I could say I won one thing within this month. I won a weekly event.
It's events.
Huh? No.
Place in the top 10%.
Hey, at least you can say you won some spa practices.
Stretch he goes. Alexander Albon tails him. George Russell 106.7.
Did you
Alexander
try to make
Albon
me feel better that I won a practice? You want me to stab you?
Tyler Markle goes a 105, nearly flat. Magnussen goes second quickest, nearly a second off the pace. Which practice in that?
I'm waiting for Malika to set that 104 now.
Lando Norris goes second quickest. Malika now on the charge. Sebastian Vettel and a caution in sector 1 and 2. I believe that's Markle. Here comes off of turn 9. Malenko 2 to start finish line. A 105, 188. Vettel goes fifth quickest. Leclerc goes third quickest in the slipstream of Sebastian Vettel. On time lap now, Romain Grosjean 2 to start finish line. Grosjean goes 7th quickest. Kubica goes 10th quickest. Pierre Gasly now starts a timed lap. Verstappen does as well. Bottas, Giovinazzi, and Raikkonen on outlap.
Didn't just destroy.
Kvyat, Perez on outlap as well. So Gasly and Verstappen on timed laps. Stroll also on an outlap. We're waiting for Bottas, Giovinazzi to work their way around. Caution in sector 2. This is all going on. Pierre Gasly coming out of full head of steam. He gets hindered by the Renault. Big time hindered by Pierre Gasly. Max Verstappen goes through clearly. Gasly will want a retry of his lap, and he is furious.
Okay, who cares?
Giovinazzi over Bottas. Gasly goes 8th quickest. Verstappen, he goes 12th quickest. Verstappen must have been hindered even more. Kimi Raikkonen tailing Verstappen now. First Antonio Giovinazzi, then Bottas, then Raikkonen, then Perez, then Kvyat. Then we should see Lance Stroll, then Carlos Sainz, then Lewis Hamilton. Never mind, Lewis Hamilton, then Carlos Sainz. Yep, the Lance Stroll has started this time on, so we got Giovinazzi, Bottas, Raikkonen, Perez, Stroll, Giovinazzi, Bottas, Raikkonen, Perez, Kvyat, Stroll, Hamilton, and Sainz will be the last drivers the set time lap in that order. Giovinazzi off of turn 9. Here he comes to the start finish line. Antonio Giovinazzi in the Alfa Romeo goes 13th quickest. Next we'll have Valtteri Bottas. Bottas through turn 8. Turn 9 now. And off of the final corner, Bottas in the Mercedes. Here he comes. He goes 13th quickest. Wow, abysmal time. Raikkonen, he goes 7th quickest. Sergio Perez onto the front stretch. In the racing points, he will go 12th quickest. Daniel Kvyat is next. Kvyat onto the front stretch. Kvyat goes 13th quickest. A lot of abysmal lap times by a lot of drivers. Lance Stroll through the final corner. Stroll comes to the start finish line. Stroll in the racing point will go 13th quickest. The penultimate driver to set up their first lap time of the session will be Lewis Hamilton. He goes third quickest, a 1:05.543. Carlos Sainz in the McLaren. He comes through turn 8, now through turn 9. Sainz comes to the start finish line and he will go 17th quickest. A lot of abysmal lap times. I am shocked. So Markle, we're going to ride on board with Markle. He's the current pole sitter and is on a second time lap. Here goes Markle. 8th gear and brakes all the way down to 4th gear for turn 1. Up the gears we go, it's down the second straightaway. 8th gear, up the hill we go, 200 miles per hour into turn 2. It's a hairpin, all the way down the second gear. Clips the apex and out of the corner we go, down the straightaway. This one's downhill. Turn 3, back up to 8th gear. We go into turn 3, another hairpin. He goes down to 3rd gear this time, clips the apex, and on the exit we go. Up the hill we go. Going to turn 4. Nice and clean, on his way through turn 5 now. Turn 6. Through turn 7. I guess this is an 8-turn circuit. I guess unless they cut a curve somewhere. And through turn 8, really wide goes Marco to the start finish line. He comes a 1:04.992. Now riding on board with Malenko. Can he top that? He has got the exact same equipment. Here he goes into the final 2 corners. Malenko to the start finish line. He does not improve. No, he does improve, but he's not improved position-wise. So those 2 Renault drivers set the fastest 2 laps they can. Because hoping that lap is good enough to stay on the front row with his teammate. No, this is an 8-turn circuit. I counted correctly. So here comes Marco to the pit lane. Does he go a 3rd time around? We'll see. He's got just under 9 minutes. Malenko heading his way to the pit lane now. The last driver to set a time so far this session, and he is the 2nd driver to set a time the 2nd time around. Still wait for the other 18 drivers, the other 19 teams to make a move to the track. Here comes Malenko into the pit lane. 8.5 minutes here in qualifying. And Alexander Albon, just when we thought the track was going to get quiet, Albon probably has the clearest of racetracks. Up the hill, Albon goes on an outlap. What a great time for Albon. The track is at its clearest. Followed by Charles Leclerc now, making his move to start an out lap. Soto Renault, Alexander Albon, Charles Leclerc taking advantage of clear racetrack here for a second time. Albon grabs the DRS and he starts the timed lap with right on board with Albon. Leclerc out lap as well. Now George Russell starts an out lap. So still a relatively clear racetrack for Alexander Albon. Russell should not be an impact to Albon's lap. Should is the key word. Here we go now throughout the lap. More drivers take their time to the track. Magnussen and Kubica on out laps. Leclerc sat 4th quickest. Let's ride on board with Leclerc. Leclerc trying to go for pole. Just under a second off of the pole time for Charles Leclerc. Leclerc, also one of 3 drivers at the moment, sat in the 105 range. And up to the sector line. Albon went 7th quickest in that Toro Rosso. Leclerc will have George Russell, then Kevin Magnussen, then Robert Kubica. Charles Leclerc coming through the final corner, trying to give it all he's got. Doesn't look good, but he does improve on his time. It's just not enough to improve on the position. Magnussen right now sat 8th, is on a fast lap. So keep an eye on Robert Kubica and George Russell. I know Russell sat 12th quickest. George Russell starts a flyer. Magnussen rounding the final 2 corners. Magnussen onto the front stretch. Looks good, but maybe not fast enough. He goes at 106.177. That's 7th quickest for Kevin Magnussen. Sebastian Vettel, Lando Norris right now sat 5th quickest on outlaps, both of them. George Russell did not improve on his lap time. Right now sat 12th quickest. Robert Kubica 15th quickest. More drivers move to take times on the board. Pierre Gasly with a furious attempt, first attempt at a lap. He's on an out lap along with Romain Grosjean. Lando Norris and Sebastian Vettel are coming out somewhat together. They will be taking times in succession of each other for a second time around. Right now Norris sat 5th, Vettel sat 6th. Right on board with Vettel. Grosjean, Gasly on outlaps, Max Verstappen, Antonio Giovinazzi on outlaps. Three and a half minutes remain here in qualifying. The drivers need to leave pit lane at about 1 minute 30 to make sure they get another attempt at a lap. So, Norris on a fast lap, Vettel on a fast lap, Grosjean on a fast lap, Gasly on a fast lap now, Raikkonen on an out lap, Giovinazzi on a fast lap, Verstappen on a fast lap. Lando Norris coming off of turn number 8 to the start finish line. Norris improves right now, sat 5th quickest. Vettel goes and hops Lando Norris, 5th quickest for Sebastian Vettel. Romain Grosjean and Pierre Gasly. Tyler Marco's on an outlap. Romain Grosjean's on a fast lap. Pierre Gasly as well. Gasly got hindered. Let's see where Gasly can run. Max Verstappen also on a fast lap with Giovinazzi. Stroll's on an outlap. Romain Grosjean right now on a fast lap. Slipstream with Kimi Räikkönen. Grosjean goes 9th quickest. Gasly goes 4th quickest. That's what we expected of Pierre Gasly. Giovinazzi and Verstappen. Verstappen will have the slipstream with Giovinazzi. Here we go. Onto the front stretch. Giovinazzi 7th quickest. Verstappen 3rd quickest with slipstream. We knew that one was more expected. Now Kimi Räikkönen is on a fast lap. Verstappen, Gasly, Vettel, Norris have set second times. Albon is on an outlap. He will go again. 1:30. Magnussen is on an outlap. He tries to go again. Marco's on a fast lap. Hamilton is on an outlap. Malenko looks to lock in his 105.081. He hasn't made a move to an outlap just yet. No, he will lock in that time. Kimi Räikkönen through the final corners. Räikkönen improves on his time, but does not improve position-wise. 4 1,000ths off of Grosjean's time. Now Lance Stroll takes a fast lap. Kvyat is on a timed lap. Giovinazzi heads to the pit. Tyler Marco's on a fast lap. We watch him. No, he's aborted his lap. So Marco maybe heading back to the pit lane or trying again. He will not try again, so he's heading back to the pit lane. Marco's done. So Lewis Hamilton. Now this is who it all comes down to. Session's over. Lewis Hamilton goes 4th quickest. So Hamilton does not improve. Here we go. Taking a look at the results. Tyler Marco, a huge gap over Verstappen. Malenko able to keep it on the front row, under a 10th behind his teammate. Nearly half a second back. Verstappen, Hamilton, Bottas 5th. Gasly 6th, Leclerc, Vettel 7th, 8th, Norris 9th, Magnussen 10th. Renault, Red Bull, Mercedes, Ferrari, and McLaren represented well in the top 10. So here we go, these drivers, they're about to embark on, I believe, a 37 lap 36 lap Grand Prix here at the Red Bull Ring for the Austrian Grand Prix. 36 laps, but they're quick 36 laps. Nearly a minute long laps. This race should take just over 40 minutes. But before we go on to 36 laps, the drivers have their all important formation lap. Let's see if we can get through the starting lineup quickly here. Alright, so on the front row, it's on all Renault front row. Markle on P1, Malenko P2. Row 2, Max Verstappen, help with slipstream in qualifying. He will start P3, and Lewis Hamilton of Mercedes will start 4th. In row 3, Valtteri Bottas of Mercedes starts 5th, and of Red Bull starting 6th, Pierre Gasly. Row 4, it's an all Ferrari, 4th row. Leclerc starts 7th, Vettel starts 8th. Row 5, Lando Norris from McLaren starts 5th, and Haas driver Kevin Magnussen starts 10th. In row 6, Toro Rosso driver Alexander Albon starts 11th, and alongside him Haas driver Romain Grosjean starts 12th. Row 7, Alfa Romeo Kimi Räikkönen 13th. Starting alongside of him, represented well for Williams, George Russell starts 14th. Row 8, Carlos Sainz from McLaren starts 15th, and Racing Point's Lance Stroll starts 16th. Row 9, Racing Point's Sergio Perez starts 17th. Williams Robert Kubica starts 18th. And in the back row of the grid, Daniel Kvyat from Toro Rosso starts 19th. And in Alfa Romeo's Antonio Giovinazzi starts 20th. These drivers are heading to the grid now. Let's see if we can get a quick word with Markle. Markle, this is one of your best tracks. Fastest in qualifying on the pole. Do you think you can pull it off? 36 laps to do it.
Hopefully, and hopefully Hamilton wrecks out first.
Those are the words from Markle, and you heard hopefully Hamilton wrecks out. Usually you don't wish ill upon other competitors, but these Renault drivers, they really do. Hamilton has a 3 race point lead over these Renaults in the championship, especially Malenko. 75 points plus heading into this race. And here we go. The drivers, they're gridding up and they're getting ready to go for 36 fast ones around the Red Bull ring. And here we go. The drivers, they're gridded up. You know what that means? It's time to bring the action. 5 red lights. And it's lights out. And away we go. Markle and Malenko both get off to great starts. Hamilton and Bottas, they get off to terrible starts. I believe Hamilton's starting to lose the spot to Bottas. They're going at it for 4th. Verstappen with a lunge at Malenko. Malenko has to defend big time. Bottas looking to clear Hamilton for 4th. And the Ferraris, they hang in the spots they started in. Everybody in the top 8 are about where they started. Vettel to 7th. And there's a caution in sector 2. Coming back, everybody straightens it out. Everybody singles it out. George Russell the 13th, looking at Romain Grosjean for 12th. Diving to the inside and a huge lunge from the racing point. Lance Stroll around the outside, trying to get around Kimi Räikkönen for 14th. Back up front, the Renaults are pulling away. Markle heading the charge over Malenko. Verstappen right now on the podium trying to stick with those Renaults, and Hamilton looking now to, as he powered past his teammate Valtteri Bottas, look to get back into rhythm here to try to take a race lead here. He's right now 4th, a 1:10.566 from Markle on the soft compound in that Renault. Everybody knows the tail heading the charge up the hill is Markle. Malenko diving to the inside of Markle. Markle got a bad turn 2. Malenko looking for the race lead. Side by side down the straightaway to turn 3. Malenko has preferred line, but Markle tries to outbrake him. They're going to go side by side through 3. They make contact and Malenko will clear Markle. Verstappen is right there now, ready to take advantage of these Renaults. The dueling Renaults invites the Red Bull of Max Verstappen into the mix. Leclerc and Vettel, they're going at it for 7th. Leclerc has preferred line on Vettel through 5 and 6. And Leclerc clears Vettel. The dueling Renaults are nose to tail, and Verstappen is there as well. Markle looking to overtake Malenko once again. Here we go to the start finish line. Who has the fastest lap this time? Chances are it's not a Renault. Malenko, Verstappen, Hamilton with the fastest lap. A 108.685. Dueling Renaults in front of the Red Bull. On board with Max Verstappen as Malenko to the right, Markle to the left, and Verstappen with a huge slipstream. DRS, the back wing is open, 3 wide for the race lead. Verstappen from a dive from last week. Here he comes up the inside, trying to get the race lead. Malenko shoots through. Markle trying to hold on to 2nd from Verstappen. Hamilton is right there as well. DRS looking to the outside of Verstappen now. Hamilton maybe looking to duel with the Renaults. Verstappen and Hamilton, they got to sort it out before the Renaults drive away from them. Hamilton looking to, Verstappen looking to clear Hamilton. Hamilton diving back to the inside for turn 5. Malenko leads the charge here of the dueling Renaults, and then Hamilton and Verstappen locked in a fierce battle. Hamilton trying to clear Verstappen. They're still side by side, out of 6. Verstappen makes contact with that front wing against the left, or the right front tire. Blue account, they're still dueling for 2nd, or for 3rd. Hamilton does clear Verstappen, and that invites Valtteri Bottas and Pierre Gasly into the mix. We get a 4-car battle for 3rd, and the Renaults, they're going at it. Markle with DRS looks to the outside of teammate Malenko. And In a turn 2, Malenko dives up the inside, sends Marco wide. They're still side by side. Verstappen to 3rd over Hamilton. Bottas back to 5th. Gasly in 6th. Malenko with the DRS now clears Marco. Dueling Renaults. This is not what they want. They want to stay single file and not let Verstappen pounce on the opportunity to try to overtake them. So Malenko still beating teammate Marco, lap 4 of 36 here at the Red Bull Ring, and Marco's in the grass, and around he goes. No, he keeps it under control. What a great save from Marco, but he's going to lose a lot of spots to the inside of Valtteri Bottas now for 4th. You know, you hate to see a mistake, but that's probably the best way to make a mistake in this series is to keep the car out of the barrier and still be running in points. Right now, 4th for Marco. He's able to recollect himself and go at it once again. Verstappen and Hamilton dueling in front of Marco may be enticing for Marco as well. Marco better stay out of anything that can keep him or get him in trouble here. Hamilton looking around the outside of Verstappen. And Hamilton will clear Verstappen with DRS and now tows him down the straightaway. Vettel and Norris, they're going at it for 7th. Norris on the outside, Vettel on the inside. Norris has the preferred line for turn 5. They're going toe-to-toe for 7th, and Leclerc is there to the inside of Vettel. Vettel fighting back. Norris barely clears Vettel through turn 6. Back to Wilson on that Renault. Same thing for that Red Bull, Max Verstappen. Hamilton's a sitting duck up the hill. Goes to Mercedes, Red Bull, and Renault. Verstappen dives to the inside of Hamilton. Trying to clear him on exit. Hamilton gets a better exit. Verstappen's got the DRS vow. Hamilton defends on the inside. Verstappen looks to the outside. Marco's right there. Where does he go? He stays behind them. Very smart move. Hamilton trying to clear Verstappen on the exit. Now Marco can look to attack Verstappen here into 4. Looking around the outside of Max Verstappen now, trying not to get pushed wide. Now into 5. Trying to keep that front wing intact. Verstappen may have a little bit of damage with the contact of Hamilton's left or right front tire to his left front wing. Marco trying to look to the inside of Verstappen, thinks better of it. He did peak though. Looking again to the inside of Verstappen, trying to get a better run off the exit. Both of them have DRS. Marco all over the back bumper, or the gearbox of that Red Bull. To the outside he goes. Trying to get around Max Verstappen now. Trying to slipstream Hamilton at the same time. He clears Verstappen easily. Now Marco looks to set his sights on Lewis Hamilton. Hamilton also gaining time on race leader Malenko. So it's a win-win for Marco and a for Malenko. Verstappen to 4th. Trying to fend off Valtteri. Bottas, Gasly on the charge as well. Norris, Leclerc, and Vettel, they're still going hard for 7th. Hamilton and Marco, they're going at it for 2nd. Marco on the outside. Hamilton on the inside. They're fighting hard. Marco has the preferred line into 5, but doesn't want to overdo it. Into 4 we go. Now into 5. Marco clear of Hamilton. And now set the sights for teammate Malenko. No longer with the 8 of DRS can Marco just catch Malenko on pure speed. He did out-qualify him, but Malenko outdid Marco in practice. Everybody knows the tail. Most likely any strings of overtake will happen on this straightaway up the hill to turn 2. Everybody's just kind of towing each other up the hill. Overtakes further back in the pack. Marco was not close to gap 2:10. Leclerc and Norris are going at it for 7th. Leclerc to the outside of Norris. Leclerc with the DRS clears Norris. For 7th, Raikkonen, Magnussen, they're going at it for 11th. Raikkonen to 11th. Closed the gap another 10th. And now under attack from Lewis Hamilton. Hamilton with the DRS and slipstream. Huge slipstream and DRS on Marco now. To the left side goes Hamilton. Diving into the corner. Marco trying to stay to the inside of Hamilton. Hamilton clears Marco. Huge power out of the Mercedes. Raikkonen and Grosjean, they're going at it for 10th now. Raikkonen has now outdone both of the Haas drivers, and into the points goes Kimi Raikkonen. Marco not happy with being overtaken by Lewis Hamilton. He'll try again. No, he's loose. He's got to keep the car under control first before he makes a thought about overtaking anybody. Malenko off wide, but he's leading this thing. 1/4 of the way done as we start lap 10 of 36 here at the Red Bull Ring. Marco looks to dive to the outside of Hamilton, trying to outbreak him into one. He going wide. Hamilton lost a lot of momentum through the center of the corner, and now is under attack from Verstappen. And Bottas, they're going 3 wide for 3rd. Verstappen diving up the inside. Bottas is there as well. Now Bottas and Verstappen, they're going toe-to-toe, and Bottas is about to get a 2-for-1 special. Clear Verstappen now. And Bottas defends Verstappen successfully in a 2-for-1 special for driver 2 at Mercedes, Valtteri Bottas. Marco now closed the gap to 1.4 seconds. Looking to continue to make gains on teammate Malenko. 1.3 seconds the gap now in closing. .1 seconds. Marco trying to get into DRS range of teammate Malenko, and he's quickly closing up the hill, probably in slipstream. Just over 1 second by literally hundreds. Marco ever so close to being within DRS detection range of his teammate. Now he has to push hard through sector 2. Just over 1 second now. Malenko is on it. Marco's even faster. Now it's under 1 second. Marco's got to be there for DRS detection. 9/10 of a second is the gap. Did Marco make it to DRS detection? He fell outside 1 second. He gets DRS there. Now he looks to make the game. Marco. Up the hill we go with DRS once again. Slipstream and DRS, huge gains to be made here on teammate Malenko. 3 DRS straight right after one another. Verstappen the 3rd over the Mercedes duo. Hamilton and Bottas, they're going at it for 4th. Hamilton clears Bottas. Marco making the gains again, not looking for an overtake this lap, but has definitely closed the gap to now just over half a second on teammate Malenko. He's there. He can clearly see the Renault on the back of the back wing there. Half a second is the gap between the Renault drivers. Markle now. He'll have 3 DRS straights into sessions to try to make an overtake attempt on lap 13 of 36. Down the straight we go. 0.3 of a second and gaining. 0.2 of a second and gaining. Into turn 1 we go. Down to 0.4 of a second. A slipstream and DRS up the hill should be fun. 0.3. Now 0.3 still. 0.2 up the hill. Now under 0.2 to 1/10. Side by side into 2. Marco around the outside, but he can't stay there. They're going side by side now down the straight. Malenko all the way to the right side, hugging the grass. Marco on the left side with DRS, trying to clear teammate Malenko. On board with Malenko now. Malenko trying to outbreak teammate Marco into turn 3. What a move to try to stay in the race lead, and it'll pay off. Malenko clears Marco once again. Marco's going to be right there, though. How much longer can he fend off teammate Marco? Lewis Hamilton to 3rd over Max Verstappen. Valtteri Bottas 5th. Pierre Gasly 6th. Leclerc, Norris, Vettel, Raikkonen rounds out the rest of the top 10. Raikkonen has a huge queue behind him of Grosjean, Magnussen, Albon, Russell, Stroll, Sainz, Perez, Kubica, and Malenko into the pit lane. Marco stays out because Verstappen into the pit lane. Malenko 13 laps on the softs. He fits a set of mediums. Oh, he fits a set of hards. Verstappen fits a set of hards as well. George Russell into the pit lane. Malenko come out 8th place, right behind Sebastian Vettel, and right in front of Kimi Raikkonen. George Russell fits the hards. Sat 20th, Verstappen sat 15th behind Carlos Sainz. Right in the middle of that queue is Max Verstappen, battling Sainz and Stroll for 13th. Huge gain to the outside of Stroll. Goes Verstappen. Back up front, we should expect Marco into the pit lane soon. Which of the Mercedes drivers pits first? Marco to the pits now, trying to keep it on the tarmac. Marco into the pit lane now. Hamilton in. Valtteri Bottas stays out. Gasly's in. Leclerc is in. And Vettel's in. The Ferraris are double stacking. Vettel's now getting the shit under the stick. I can't believe they've double stacked Vettel. Vettel, Magnussen, and Norris is in. Marco comes out 3rd, right in front of Romain Grosjean. A huge gaggle of cars now, with a mix of cars on fresh tires and old tires. 14-lap old tires to 0-lap old tires are some of these drivers in this queue. Marco right now pulling the gap on Romain Grosjean. Raikkonen trying to get the spot back on Grosjean. They're going at it for 4th. Valtteri Bottas still leads. Malenko, most importantly, has a 4-second gap over teammate Marco. Raikkonen and Grosjean, they're going at it for 4th hard now. Raikkonen clears Grosjean. Bottas into the pit lane. Here comes Raikkonen. Raikkonen being followed by Grosjean. Albon stays out, and Albon will go to 3rd. Trying to fend off Max Verstappen now. No, Albon will be racing Bottas on the pit exit. Bottas comes out 3rd. Albon splits Bottas and Verstappen. Albon trying to keep the spot on Verstappen. Verstappen will clear Albon on the exit. We expect Albon, Stroll, Kubica, Giovinazzi in this lap. Albon right now Trying to fend off Pierre Gasly for the 5th position. He will be putting this lap. Here comes Albon. Albon, the pit lane, followed by Lance Stroll. Kubica, followed by Giovinazzi. That should be everybody. So everybody pits and everybody's cycling out now to where they rightfully should be. So now let's examine the strategy. So this is interesting. Only the Renault drivers, Max Verstappen and George Russell, pitted for hards. Everybody else in the field, the other 16 drivers, are on sets of mediums. We obviously know the hards are trying to go to the end. Will the mediums be fast enough to outdo the tire life and the tire degradation on the hards? We're halfway through the Grand Prix. Marco on 4-lap-old hards. Marco on 4-lap-old hards. Marco on 3-lap-old hards. Verstappen, Russell, same in that order. Everybody else on 3 to 0-lap-old mediums. Hamilton the 5th on Pierre Gasly. Going to fend off Pierre Gasly now. So the gap was 4 seconds between Marco and Marco. Marco's now close it to under 3 seconds. Marco's not closing it to just over 2 3/4. Now looking for 2.5. Marco is gaining on teammate Malenko. Is Malenko bothered? Raikkonen heading yet another Q now. This Q consists of George Russell 12, Sainz 13, Grosjean 14, and a dive to the inside. That's George Russell looking for 11. Couldn't get there. Russell gets cut off by Raikkonen. Now he has DRS and slipstream up the hill. Russell tries to defend against Sainz and Grosjean and Perez and Kvyat and the rest of the family. Up the hill we go. What a day it would be if George Russell can get points and he can see 10th place in front of him. Marco's not closing the gap to under 2.5 seconds. He has 1 lap fresher tires than Malenko. So Kimi Raikkonen has absolutely pulled away from George Russell. As Sainz now looks to overtake Russell for 12th. Good thing for Russell is, at some point in this race, he could eventually end up 4th. Actually, I don't think that's going to happen because there are people who are up in the running order who can pit for another set of mediums and then still be in front of George Russell at the moment, who's about 32.5 seconds off the lead. Speaking of the lead, Marco just over 1.5 seconds off with teammate Malenko. This time that will be 16 laps to go in the Austrian Grand Prix. They're going 16 more laps on those cars. Malenko on 7-lap-old tires, Marco on 6-lap-old tires. And Marco looking for DRS range. 1.5 seconds is the gap in closing. Marco will tell you himself, this circuit is one of his best circuits in the F1 schedule. And to single-handedly gain on his very talented teammate in the exact same equipment would prove just how stellar of a performance he can put on at this racetrack. We expect the drivers who pitted for mediums to be in about 5 or 6 laps. And the drivers again on hards will be going to the end. Again, but who are the drivers that can do that? Marco. Malenko held it steady at 1.4 seconds that lap, and Marco gaining up the hill again. 1.3 seconds and gaining. And a caution in Sector 1, Romain Grosjean. Romain Grosjean is out. A DNF for the Haas drivers once again. And Marco just over 1 second. He did not get DRS detection that time. But he is right there. And he should have DRS on the next straightaway. 0.6 of a second is the gap now, 0.5. You see Grosjean pull it all the way to the left side there in turn 1. The back wing is open on the second Renault. In line, Marco looking to gain 0.3 of a second now. Now 2, up the hill, Malenko gives him the line around the outside, looks to go Marco. And side by side down the straightaway, Malenko's got the DRS. Marco looking to defend. Side by side in the 3. Marco trying to go around the outside. They're making contact. They don't want to spin each other. Malenko fighting hard on the outside now for turn 4. Marco will clear Malenko. Malenko looks to fight back. He's got to stay in DRS range. This is the only goal now. To stay in fighting distance. Norris and Vettel, they're going at it for 8th. Malenko diving to the inside. That's not a passing zone. But he's going to make it anyway. Whoa, they make contact. Marco still out in front of Malenko. Malenko all over the gearbox of his teammates. Gearbox. His teammate's car. Into turn 1 we go. Malenko with the DRS now, and he'll clear Marco. Marco's has the DRS this time around. Back wing's open on the second Renault. These drivers, they got to be on the button. They don't know when they're going to get DRS if they're battling each other like this. Marco looking to the outside once again on Malenko. This is going on. This time by will be 12 laps to go. Marco with the DRS over Malenko. Malenko's all he can do is slipstream Marco all the way down the straightaway. And he does so successfully. Looks to the inside again. Marco tries to close the door. Malenko was there. They made contact. Side by side, these Renault drivers have gone for nearly an entire lap side by side. Malenko now trying to close the door on the outside, trying to clear Marco through 4, now through 5. Malenko's clear through Marco. Marco will follow him through VS's. Up the hill we go to turn number 7. This is an amazing battle. Valtteri Bottas 5.5 seconds back, no threat there. Valtteri will have to be pitting in the coming laps. Marco now slipstreaming Malenko down the straightaway. The back wing open on the second Renault in line. Marco. All over the gearbox now. Malenko, the defensive line on the right side of the track. Marco goes to the left side. And Marco clears Malenko. Malenko dives back up the inside for turn 2. Very aggressive. These drivers are with one another. And they're gaining time on Valtteri Bottas, by the way. Marco clear Malenko. Malenko's got the DRS. Marco looks to defend the middle of the racetrack. Malenko diving to the inside. He's not afraid to do that into turn 3. They make contact again. Malenko clears Marco. Marco diving to the inside again. That's not a passing zone, but Marco barely keeps the front wing on his car. These drivers, they're playing with inches. These guys, they gotta use these tires all the way to the end of the race. They should hopefully not be using up their stuff, but they're putting on quite the show. Malenko goes wide. Marco's got the DRS and the slipstream down the front stretch. Leclerc and Hamilton, they're going at it for 6th. On board with Marco, he'll be all over the gearbox of Malenko. This time again, he'll look to the left side. Up the hill we go. Marco was not clear Malenko, and Malenko drives it up the inside. These Renault teammates, and around goes Malenko! A VMAX choke for Malenko!
Sorry, Mel.
Bottas goes by for 2nd, but he knows Bottas will pit in the coming laps. He does have to worry about Max Verstappen, though, if he wants to keep the teams 1-2. We know Marco is stellar at this racetrack. The chances of Malenko single-handedly catching Marco are less than Marco doing the opposite at this point. But we'll see what happens. Bottas right now 2nd over Malenko. Malenko's got the DRS and the slipstream. Drivers on mediums have yet to hit pit lane. What lap do they hit pit lane?
Okay, that was a fuck up.
Malenko diving to the inside of Bottas. The gap is now 5.5 seconds between Marco and Malenko. Malenko trying to clear Bottas, and he closes the door, but he was not clear, and they make contact. They both spin, they make heavy contact with the barrier, and here comes Verstappen looking to get around Bottas. Bottas throws a huge block. Now Malenko's got to be worried because Max Verstappen doesn't have to pit the rest of this race. Max Verstappen's right there behind Valtteri Bottas. Bottas the defensive line up the straightaway to keep Verstappen behind him. Really surprised you haven't seen the drivers on mediums pit yet. Maybe they're going soft, medium, softs, and they'll go another few more laps and pit for softs to the end. Bottas really helping out Malenko at the moment, really holding up Verstappen and Gasly. And Malenko off the track through the dirt. Keeps it going straight, though. Verstappen getting a little desperate with Bottas, looking and searching all the way around the racetrack for a way around him. 10 seconds the gap now between Marco and Malenko. This time by will be 7 laps to go for Tyler Marco coming off of turn number 2. 10-second advantage over teammate Malenko. Verstappen, the third over Bottas, and now Verstappen has a clear shot of Malenko, who we believe would have wing damage after 2 incidents nearing the barrier. Verstappen looking to make huge gains on Malenko. Malenko just trying to hold on to the team's 1-2. Verstappen in striking range of Malenko. Battle for second. Malenko's going to play huge defense here on the Red Bull of Max Verstappen. He knows that's his competition. They're on the same strategy. Verstappen, though he's looking for a spot from the Renault in front of him, does have to be worried about Valtteri Bottas still being aggressive behind him. Drivers are on 15-lap-old mediums and have yet to make their moves to pit lane. I don't believe those mediums will go to the end because drivers have pitted hards, but maybe mediums will go to the end. Here we go, 5 laps to go in the Grand Prix, and Bottas stays out. Verstappen to the outside of Malenko. They make contact again, and Malenko now having to defend not only against Verstappen, but Valtteri Bottas, and Pierre Gasly's hungry coming up the rear as well. Malenko, a huge dive to the inside, gets back up to second. Bottas back to fifth, and Gasly looking for third on Verstappen. Gasly will clear Verstappen for third. 16-lap-old mediums to 17-lap-old hards. All this going on 13 seconds behind Tyler Markle in the Renault. Malenko, huge defensive, battling all the way down the straightaway. That's not even a passing zone at the end of it, but he's got to play like that. Drivers staying out, and at this point I feel like drivers on mediums are going to go to the end. So with that being said, Malenko will also have to play against Verstappen on the same strategy, but Gasly, Bottas, and Hamilton on an offensive strategy. This time by will be 4 laps to go for Markle. 12 seconds is the gap between Malenko and Markle. Though he's gaining, he looks to not be gaining nearly enough that he needs. He's gaining about 3.5 seconds a lap if he wants a chance to win the Grand Prix. Malenko's in the grass. Pierre Gasly is on it. Giovinazzi to 17th. 4 laps to go in the Austrian Grand Prix. Malenko trying to fend off Verstappen now, or Gasly now. On board with Gasly, huge run up to the turn 2, and Malenko almost got himself spun a third time. Playing with fire there, trying to battle and defend against Pierre Gasly. Verstappen wants in on this as well, but those tires are old and lacking traction. 19-lap-old hards. Sainz into 11. Now Magnussen. They're dueling for 11th. That's the spot just outside of points, but they're 2 seconds back of Kimi Räikkönen, who holds the final points paint position. Albon and Russell are going at it for 14. Malenko trying to fend off Pierre Gasly. Gasly all over the gearbox, and Gasly loses a lot of momentum through turn 8. Now Gasly under fire from Verstappen and Bottas and Hamilton all over the front straightaway they move. Bottas clears Verstappen for 4th. Now Bottas looks at Gasly for 3rd. Charles Leclerc joining the battle. And Bottas clear of Gasly. 3 laps remaining in the Austrian Grand Prix. And now you wonder, why did drivers choose mediums over hards and hards over mediums? Well, the difference is the hards are more durable and last longer, so the wear will be less at this point of the race, and the mediums, they're faster at the beginning, and they're going to be slower here at the end as those tires are wearing out. But it looks like Verstappen is proving that otherwise. He's all the way to the back of this queue, even though he's on a more durable tire. Two laps to go for Tyler Markle, 14-second advantage over teammate Malenko. Malenko now cleared 2.5 seconds of any competitors. For 2nd, Bottas and gang going at it for 3rd. Malenko, Pierre Gasly, Malenko, Max Verstappen, and George Russell all riding the same boat on 21 lap old hards. Bottas and Hamilton dives up the inside of Gasly. Hamilton wants a podium. Hamilton looking to the outside of Gasly. He couldn't get there. Gasly clears Hamilton again for 3rd. Final lap of the Austrian Grand Prix underway. Markle up the hill, 14.25 second advantage over teammate Malenko. Pierre Gasly is going to try to fend off Lewis Hamilton for one more lap for a podium. In the north, Sebastian Vettel, they're going at it for 8th. Gasly, Hamilton, Verstappen, they're nose to tail. So Markle rounding the final corner, 15 seconds clear of Malenko, and the fastest lap, a 108.440 for Markle. Malenko up in the final corner. He will come home to finish 2nd. Pierre Gasly, no competition. Gasly will finish 3rd. And how about that? A Renault 1-2, and it's a American and French podium. Now we take a look at the standings following that. Hamilton has a 74-point advantage over Malenko. Now a 69-point advantage over Malenko. Verstappen is another 75 back of Hamilton. And Markle 77 back of Hamilton. Looking at the constructor standings, Renault's made a gain. They are now 36 back of Mercedes and well within striking distance with 6 Grand Prix remaining. Take a look at the race results. One time, again, Markle with the fastest lap. Malenko's fastest lap, half a second off of that. The fastest lap, the rest of the field, Hamilton a 108.685, Verstappen a 7:11.
Well, every driver has scored points.